Clash of Clans podcast, OG, episode 72. And welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Scotty827, joined in the virtual studio by Tyler from CQ Revolution fame, and now, I guess, moving into some new clans. Welcome back to the podcast, Tyler.
Hey, thanks, Scotty. Welcome.
I'm glad to catch up about all that stuff.
Yeah, we've had a little change in organization, I guess. I don't know if you want to just dive right into it.
Yeah, let's go for it.
What's going on?
Yeah.
So we were kind of just getting stuck. We didn't have the promotion that we wanted last month. I think we ended up in second. We had a couple bad wars, and we were kind of frustrated. The top 7 or 8 of us were a little frustrated with our bottom half performance and how we were just kind of seemed like we're stale. Like we weren't really growing. We weren't really learning. And after we lost the original CQ, clans for the hackers, it seemed like we lost some key players, and then it just seemed like some guys lost some motivation. They didn't really care as much. And we were like, we really should be back in champs already by now. We shouldn't have, lost in masters. So
we shouldn't be slumming it by L. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, it's
yeah.
tough competition in masters. It all depends on who you get matched up with too, right? You get a good spin or a bad spin, and
you guys are a finely tuned machine as well.
Yeah, well, we were before, and it seemed like that hack losing the clan thing kind of just screwed up with the whole sync of how the clan was running. So we decided to try to venture out. Drew was really frustrated, and I was getting kind of frustrated with some of the performance from the guys and how they weren't really even trying. It seems like it was just like the same attack style from Town Hall 13. You're just still running the same span, nothing's really changing. So he was like, he texted me and he said, "Hey, what do you think about this?" I said, "What do you think about this?" The guys over at Pushing Force, Tyler on and Brad the Lad, I guess used to be clanmates with Drew a long time ago. Drew says he kind of helped train them up and get them going, when they were back in the original CQ a while back. And he said they ended up having a little tiff with M and left to go do their own clan thing. And they have been in Champs 3 for the last 4 months, I think, or 5 months. And they were just struggling they'd either get second or fourth every time. They just could never get past that little bubble. And they said they were kind of struggling internally and wondering if it's a leadership thing or what they need to do to try to make it better, to see if they can improve their clan. And so me and Drew were like, why don't we just
introduce you to the spreadsheet
and kind of merge? And we talked about to them with the spreadsheet a while back, because they were kind of curious about how we were running the 2 different clans. And Drew's like, go check them out. And so I hopped over for a minute, and they had a war log. Like, as long as you could scroll down, it's perfect. Their war log is. So I'm like, wow, these guys are got to be pretty legit, obviously, if their war log's perfect for as long as you can scroll in game. And so we decided to start talking about a merge, and we created a little group chat on Discord and talked about merge and how it would work. We had, our 20-ish guys. We were almost at 30, but I think it was maybe mid-20s guys, total in Town Hall 18. They had their 20-ish guys that were Town Hall 18 or 17, sorry, not 18. And
close.
We were like, do we just split it, half and half, or do we just run it off stats? And Tyler, on their leader, said, let's just run the stats for these next 5 wars, and we'll merge over. we'll have our best guys stay here in Pushing Force is the clan name. And then our second group of guys, whoever doesn't make the top 18, will head over to CQ2 and run CQ2, as our mini clan kind of. And we were like, yeah, let's do that. So a bunch of us hopped over that were a little more competitive to Pushing Force. Then there was, a handful of guys that stayed back in CQ that just want to run wars but aren't super competitive. They knew they were going to be in the lower group anyway.
Yeah.
And we ended up making a lineup for Pushing Force that we thought, this could be it. This could be the one that gets us or helps get them back up to or get to Champs 2 for the first time. And it was pretty cool. We just ran like 4 wars before CWL together as a bigger group, and the wars were getting perfect within the 12-hour mark. Everybody's all gung ho to prove who's who, and
cool.
kind of show what's up.
Kind of spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I was used to hitting always top 5 bases or top 10 bases. Probably middle of the war. And the one thing about them is we used to spend kind of in the afternoon for us. They're all from Europe, so they like to spend the morning. So their wars start at like 10 a.m. our time, and I'm like, I can't hop on in the middle, of the day while I'm teaching. So by the time I hop on after school, it's already perfect down into the 20s, or 15s. So I'm hitting lower bases. I'm like, am I going to be penalized for that? They're like, no, just hit what you can, and we will we'll just make the stats based off of what we can. So I was like, all right, we can do that. I left one of my 3 accounts in CQ just so I wasn't taking up too many spots, and thought everybody could get a fair shot, and we'll see how this first month goes with them. And we started off pretty hot. We won the first. We won our first one 42-7. So we only had the 3 that weren't triples, and I think 2 of them had a 98 and a 99 or something like that. So we were like 3% off of, and then one was a little bit lower. Next war was 42-33. The next war we got a perfect war 45-30. Won our next one 43-34. So we only had 2 that weren't perfect, and I think that last war was that was a 99. So it was like almost 1 away from being perfect.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then they were all getting a little cocky after that. They're like, we're gonna promote. We're crushing it. Here's our final promotion, and we were like, hey, let's finish this off. Let's not get too cocky, and think this is over. And we lost this war today.
Did you?
37-38. Partly my fault. I had a 1-star. We had a kind of a rough showing from the CQ group.
Oh no.
I mean, there's been, before today's war, there's 9 of us that have been perfect so far. I mean, 5 wars in, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, that is.
Especially in champs. So we had a rough showing from CQ. We had Charlie with a 99 to start off the war.
Oh no. Damn, that sucks.
Yeah. I hit 3rd, I think. Yeah, so somebody else from their side hit and got a 2-star. I went in, got a triple with my 1 account. And I went in with my 2nd account. And I went into this base. I had a plan. I'm going to come in on this side, and take out the few core defenses and try to invis, head my way up towards the spitter, and then around the backside. And I go in, I take off. The RC's doing all right, doing pretty good. And right where I was going to go invis the defense, right before I hit invis, the minion prince got a shot off at my RC. It darts over to go attack the minion prince.
Oh no.
Runs right into the what is that new bomb, Mega Bomb or whatever, the red one.
Yeah.
It's pretty big, hit.
Yeah.
She runs right out of the invis that I had set for her into 2 spitters, Ricochet Canyon, Minion Prince, and so
just
she
destroyed.
gets destroyed, and I'm like, oh no. So I like panic kind of sets in. I'm like, okay, I got to get 2 stars. There's no way
sweating.
No way I'm getting 3. I haven't used my recall. I've only used half of my 9 invises. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to still stick with the plan of where I enter. I've got kind of a funnel on this side. I'll OG that backside and just make myself straight to the town hall. And the king kind of wandered, so I recalled him so he could kind of join back into the main push. And it was looking okay. I panicked and hit the warden ability a little too early.
Ooh. Yeah.
I get all the way.
Like my tech.
Yeah, it's just like getting worse and worse. I get all the way into the town hall, and I'm like, okay, and the queen's hitting it, and I have the mirror, so I have 3 queens hitting her, but then the OG wears off, and the spitter starts hitting the queen. The
shit,
stupid scatter is hitting her,
Ooh.
and it's like a sliver of health is left on the town hall, and she dies because there's a builder building it up. And I'm like, no. So I got a 54%.
It's a horrible feeling.
And I'm like, oh, that's just awful. And we had a chance still. And then one of our other guys, Inspector, also got a 1-star late last night. And so we ended up losing 37-38.
Was it up against like a ring type base?
Oh, yeah. So there's
where they're kind of isolated.
Yeah, the town hall's isolated in the center with the clan castle and a couple of elixirs, and the defenses around. If with my roots are just going to path all the way around. That's why I had that OG to kind of force them to head towards the center.
Yeah,
I just got totally baited into that spot with RC, and now I'm like, now I know that's. And I went back and I looked at that base, and I'm like, why did I enter there? Why didn't I go over here? I'm like, that's a really good base. So I tried to screenshot it and look it up on a couple websites where you can like just upload your picture, and it'll bring up the base. And there's the one that brings up like any videos of it tripled or any videos or links of the actual base, so I could steal it because I'm like, I want that base,
Yeah.
And no info on it.
Oh, so it must have been a new one, maybe.
Yeah, new one. Newer. And looking at these guys, it's a Korean war clan. Just looking at their war log, like we've been putting up, low 40s every single war, which is really good. And there was a couple other clans that were right there with us putting up low 40s. And that group, or this clan, they have themselves never got to 40 stars, but they've always held their opponent to less than 38 stars.
Wow.
So their bases are just tough. Like they have some really good bases. So I'm like, we need to screenshot some of these things and steal them, And like the past 4 or 5 wars that we've done, or just these past CWL wars, because I'm getting on late, there's only like 3 or 4 bases to choose from, and I have 2 accounts in war, so I'm like, I don't really have much option. But it's nice because it's a good mix of different attackers in the clan. A lot of their guys liked the fireball, either with the furnaces or rocket loons, and then we had quite a few root rider attackers. So it was a really good mix, and like the bases that I was getting were good. And when we got to this war, there was a lot of isolated town halls, and then there was a lot of invis bases.
Ooh, okay.
And I don't love the invis bases for my roots.
Are those like
especially
you kind of mean like the 2 opposite corners with like?
Yeah,
with
some of them were, and then some of them were like the center town hall was an invis, and then another area somewhere else that had like a lot of damage was also an invis. They were good for fireball attackers. That's why I left those ones for the fireball guys. But
yeah, I've been seeing those bases, and like yesterday I had an attack. Like as you're talking about it, it's like almost describing my attack, and I've been having a lot of luck when I ignore. So we kind of run a similar armies in a sense. Like I don't know exactly what your comp is right now, um, but I learned a lot from you, you know, in your attacks or whatever. So, so in the a little bit ago, I would have been kind of doing what you were describing and using my RC to target something. Like, okay, I think I can get this right. Like what you should be doing. But then when I started this kind of newer version of the attack, I just my mind, I say in my mind, just squint your eyes. Like, don't look at what is on the base. Just try to just use the RC to go in at a maybe even just like a weak spot where you're going to get a bunch of stuff.
yeah,
But just complete pathing. Like, don't go, oh, I could get this
yeah,
come from here. And then it works really well, surprisingly. Like, then I'll go at the spitters. Like, I just was finding, like, hey, it's working. But then yesterday I was going in for my attack and I thought, okay, this should be the same thing. I might be able to get the crusher mortar. And then I go in and I'm doing it, but then I miss the spear ability because I'm gonna try to get in early, right? Like spear it in and try to get it because I thought worst case I should be able to clear it out. Doesn't happen, and I think even my RC died, or maybe she didn't die, but it was like I just didn't get it, and then it all kind of cascaded down. But luckily, I had a in that case I had a siege barrack with the furnaces in it. And then I sent my lone super minion flying across the base behind him just as an insurance to get it. And thank God it did. That's rough in CWO when that stuff's happening. Those bases are tough like that.
yeah. And I mean, just the pressure of CWO because you don't want to screw up.
Yeah.
Right? You're really trying to make sure that you are not the one that loses the war.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and then when you do fail, it's just it's a lot of heartbreak on the side. But we actually, because we've been putting up such good numbers before,
tears.
We still will have a lead. So right now the war's still not over. We still have an hour left, but right now, even with this loss, we're still going to have a 8-star lead.
Wow.
Over second, and we beat second place already. They actually no, it's even more than that.
Are you in War 5?
Yeah, so we're at the end of War 5. So second place actually lost too.
Wow.
So third and fourth will move up, and they both are done with their attacks. They are going to be 13 stars back from us.
Wow.
And we face both of them in these last 2 wars.
Wow.
So we face both of them. The one clan is so weird because I need to get on Flash Ninja. I wonder if I can hop on.
I got to do that too.
What their lineups are, because they've been putting up these pretty good numbers, like 42, 45. There was one clan that was just like a bunch of lower town halls somehow in Champs 3. I think maybe they like just threw all their crappy accounts in there and are trying to get demoted or something on purpose. But yeah, these guys put up 42, 45, 43, 42, and 44. and they've only won 2 wars.
Weird.
Everybody else has put up 45, 45, and 43
Jesus.
against them. So I'm wondering if they have like these low town halls
And really good
but
attackers.
are really good attackers
Or
or
bad
something. I don't know.
bases?
Or maybe there's really bad bases, but we're
How
heading into
weird.
that war and we're like, okay, we should be able to put up another
45.
45
Okay.
in that war. And then the last war is really where it comes down to we're going up against that team, but we have a 13-star lead. So it's like, even if we lose just by 1 or 2, we would still, win the overall, the CWO. So we're just trying to take it, war by war instead of looking so far ahead, I guess. But it's hard not to look and be like, we still have such a big lead.
I want to ask you about.
But it's been cool.
I want to ask.
Merging with those guys.
So, and it's. Did you merge? Did you do it last CWL? Oops.
No, it was just this one.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, and it was like mid-month when we did.
Okay.
We
That's what I thought.
were mad after last CWL not doing that well, and then in the middle of the 1 month, I think we lost like a war in CQ2 because it was like a couple guys didn't even attack, and then a couple more just the attack strategies aren't there, and we're like, why are we losing these wars? So Drew was like, I'm gonna go over and check this out with pushing force, and he went over for a war, and they ran perfect, and he's like, these guys are a well-oiled machine, we should go over and talk about a merger with them. So
they're bionic like us. I wanted to ask you about those stats, like how that changed, but I'll give you a little update on L's CWL. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah. How you guys doing?
We're doing well. And so I'm not even sure I should talk about it. We are in. All the clans are doing really well. So we split to 15, 15, and 15 in L, L2, and L Warborn. So L Warborn's kind of fun to see these like little town halls and stuff, and they're up against, they're overmatched, and they're doing really well, and it's just funny to watch. It's just so it's fun to see. Like there's a couple second accounts, couple first accounts, but just doing really well. I think we had 3 wins, 1 loss, which has been kind of fun. L2's been pretty good. I mean, doing really well, but just losing by like 1 star here and there. And then so L, we're on our 5th war. We ended the war last night in first place, ahead by, I think it was 15 stars. It could be 16, but I think it was 15 stars. And now we're up against the 2nd place clan. So if we win, and the 2nd place just played the 3rd place and won. So if we win, I think that is going to put us into promotion if we don't fuck up, kind of thing. Like everybody just keep going. If we don't have,
just keep doing what we're doing. Nobody try anything.
Yeah, stupid. Even if we lose, as long as we're consistently doing what we're doing, I think would put it there. So that's pretty exciting. But the difference really is this CWL people are just, it seems to be going smooth. Like people are kind of coming in, and I think coming back and having Labor Day and everything, and people are kind of getting back into their routines. I think is just kind of part of it, but it's been pretty cool. I have not been the strongest by far in the clan. Just a lot of those high 90%. I think I've only had 1 3-star, and then it was like a 96 and a 99 and a 76.
Oh,
So
those are so heartbreaking too, because it's like it's either a time fail or you
yeah,
just needed a troop. You like accidentally spammed a troop early, and you could have left it for cleanup later, and
well,
you're just killing yourself over those little tiny
and
percent.
I'm doing this live right now because I just saw this. I am getting my about to max out my torch. There
Oh,
goes 27.
nah,
I
you're ahead of me on that.
I saved up a little bit, but just I've been using it, right? That
You have,
yep. I just replaced my life gem
really?
with it
Okay.
because when it came out, they were just talking about like, the life gem or this. And so I just blindly swapped it out, added
Huh.
it in. It does almost the exact same thing, except, if you've got healers kind of coming in with that incoming
Yeah.
damage. But it's when my troops get to the core and that jump thing, if I can get them deeper to push in and then hit it, I do really, really well.
Hmm.
And so some of these attacks this war, I think it was like 2 wars ago, I was like, that is one level right there. Because that
Yeah.
speed up really does well for the
That was
warden.
good.
I was just
Hmm.
so consistently time failing with with the attack that I was like, I just need a little bit more speed. So we'll see how that goes now. But how does your stats? I wanted to ask about like, so you, because this is kind of like a real world case, I guess. Because we've been talking about our spreadsheet and figuring things out, and uh, if you so you changed up your attacking style, right? Like where you would normally hit, or like in the top 5 because of time, you said.
Yeah, just because there's nothing up there left, and the whole goal is just to perfect. So I'm hitting, whatever's left down lower.
Yeah.
Um, so they run their spreadsheet a little different than ours. I'm gonna hop into it real quick just so I can see what it was. But um, so they don't do quite all the stats that we did, which I thought was really interesting. But they did something a little different that I thought was kind of cool. So they did. It's off of your hit rate, so your triple rate, but it's off of 75% of the weighted is off of CWL from last month, and only 25% is weighted off of how you did throughout.
Oh
So
wow.
really heavy focus on what's important, during CWL. Not your total stars, but just your hit rate. So even if you started off the bench, and so what we've been doing is running 18 guys, and lowest 3 get swapped out. And almost every war, at first, when we first started the first war, it was like we were crushing it. I think there was like 5 hits left, and we were all perfect so far. And I was like, it's hard to sub three people out if nobody,
Yeah.
nobody messes up. And then of course 3 people messed up, and then
Oh.
the next 3 people messed up next. But this war, I think it was 5 people messed up that we lost. But um, so like they had 3 guys, no 4, 1, 2, 3. They had 3 guys, and then we had Inspector from our clan who last CWL went 7 for 7.
Wow.
Um, so they were, first 4 guys. Then there was 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that went 6 for 7. Um, Tyler on is the leader. He threw all my stats together just as a lump sum and had me as 17 out of 20 triple rate, from last CWL. So I only missed 3 out of the 3 accounts.
Jeez.
And then Drew was 6 for 7. Then they had a couple guys that went 5 for 6, 5 for 7, 4 for 6. So like CWL was really important. Our war hit rates were all pretty high. And then he has is called the aggregate hit rate. I think is basically what your two stats are together. Um, it's pretty cool to look. Like the 18th guy was at, or 15th guy was at 70% with both of them combined, and everybody else is higher than that. You know, like the top 15 guys are all above 75% hit rate with war and CWL together. So I was excited to get into the CWL because it's like
I
that's,
guess I
it's
won't be doing
compared.
trying out for that clan. Oh.
I mean, it's just, and like I needed a new drive. I was kind of just
Yeah, same old.
getting in. I think sucked into the same old, and like Drew's like, even your stats are kind of wild on the 3 different accounts, and I was like, because I'm trying different stuff with the other two. You know, like I've trying something really good with my one account, but my other two, I was just kind of screwing around with the band troops, get stuck into, trying to do something stupid instead of just, being competitive and doing what I should. So it was a good switch to change, Clash life up a little bit and not have a leader role, like stepping down from the leader role over there and just letting somebody else do everything and just being like, okay, I'm here to make my hits. I'm here to, be competitive.
Like be doing something.
Have to worry about anything and
not
have to run stats, not have to worry about is so-and-so going to actually hit or not, who's going to do it. Like it just kind of
I'm going to be able to sleep at night.
Exactly.
It's either that or the baby.
Like, yeah, exactly.
So did you get a chance to see, because this is where I'm starting to be curious, like, because like with the spreadsheet, right? And where as L's top players get to be heavier bases, more equal, like that way, right? Like this is where we got to start figuring this out. And you had one way, and then you come into the to the new clan, and you have this. Did you get a chance to see how the spreadsheets compare? Like you were right here, and then when you were over there, this is how.
I wanted to honestly put that together,
but that's a lot of work.
Compare my spreadsheet like with their stats, and then their spreadsheet with their stats. But I've just been so busy with school, starting back up, and then
oh my god,
with and baby and all that it's been like it's just kind of took backseat. Where I was like, I wanted to, but I didn't really have the time or care to actually do it. But it would be cool to compare to see where I would be at.
Yeah, like how your chart would compare to
their chart,
the other chart.
Yeah, and they actually did. So they didn't do just top 18. What he did was top 15, and then his next 3 he called Captain's Choice, which he had. There was one guy that just would have been, next up in line anyway, 17th, but the other 2, Charlie and Narisco, they weren't statistically in the top 18, but Captain's Choice let them in as 17 and 18, and it was kind of cool to see that, like looking at more than just stats, kind of looking at your background or maybe your base or your hit style, and kind of putting to the side that maybe you had a rough CWL last month and it's not
that's cool,
not an overall thing. So that was kind of cool to look at that differently than because I've always just been stats, and stats are gonna
rule.
We have all that, but my stats were just more than just that 1 month. It was usually a combination of the past couple months and just more than just your hit rate. It was also your base and your star total count and penalties from 1 star. So it would have been cool to do the comparison, and maybe this next month I'll try to do the comparison. I'm hoping next month. We've actually in CQ2, because I had my one account stay there, we actually are in first place there too, which a couple of their guys were kind of surprised too. It was like all of us that didn't make the main cut, we're like, oh, well, we're not good enough. But We are winning, but we just lost this. Well, shouldn't say haven't lost yet. There's 5 hours left, 2 attacks left, and we're down by 5 stars. So we need a couple triples to win, and a couple guys that are left haven't had that high of triple rates this season. So we'll see if they can pull it off. That'd be awesome if they could.
Does hitting down lower? Just hitting down lower. How does that change your stats? So you're kind of working like you're used to working your normal thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the top 5.
Yeah.
Do you notice a change in kind of where you're standing by having to go down?
No, I don't think mine changed at all. I don't know if anybody, like, I feel like I kind of stayed the same. If anything, I think it kind of made me a little bit better because instead of going through and picking the base that I like, by the time I hop on, there's only these many bases left. And it kind of made me become an attacker. Like, this is what I have to attack.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get to pick and choose what I want. Instead, it's like, okay, I have to make a game plan for this base no matter what. And I have struggled in the Masters one actually more than in the Champs League. I've had, I think, 3 now in a row that I didn't triple in Masters. One was like a 98%. The other one was just a garbage attack. And then yesterday I lost my RC pretty early over in CQ2 as well. So
yeah,
we were going to lose this war, but we're going up against the team that's going to pass us for first place in the next war. So hopefully we can beat them and get back up into first,
Yeah.
because it's going to be tight. So it'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious. It reminded me like the other day, because we were working with the CWL stuff, and it really, like, this time I spent the month trying to organize the data. So I suppose to my clan and stuff, it's like I've been a little bit more absent, but just trying to do all this background stuff and like pulling the Clash data off and trying to just automatically put it into spreadsheets and stuff. It just didn't work out like that. We just couldn't really go by the spreadsheet yet because just people weren't kind of qualified to just with the defenses. But I was just kind of looking at that and thinking a lot about how that would change, with for co-leaders, for example. So like I feel like that there's a lot of co-leaders who will, I guess maybe, I mean, how many co-leaders do we really have? Like the co-leaders or some members of L will wait till the end to kind of clean up. And then you get kind of, like for me, I've just been kind of holding it later because I've been really, really busy. But then just kind of seeing where I'm needed, not saying I'm going to save the day or anything, but like, I can hold because I know I'll be around and do it. So I was just kind of wondering how that would impact and how people in the clan that are kind of going where needed are going to be affected. And I was talking with Liam, and so when you said like the leader's choice, yes, all these pieces are coming together where we were talking about like a trust metric, right? Which probably doesn't matter so much for you guys, but like adding in that other layer of, every month you've been CWLing with us or something like that. And
it's kind of like a reliable guy that's not hopping around a lot and stuff.
Yeah, because you've got people who've been in L, like, here's like a good case in point, like Destruction, for example. He's a TH15 and big shout out to him. He's like number 1 in L2, just going, him and Kilker it's fun to see these 15s going over match and killing it, right? Like blowing him out of the
Yeah.
water. And he's sitting at number 1 in L2. You know, when he gets to be 16 or an early 17, you know, or even just a regular 17, how do you compare somebody who's been in the clan a long time, right? Or you don't want him to lose a spot down the road if he's been a long time member. So
Mm-hmm.
it's almost, yeah, it's like we almost have a 30 full roster of full stuff. So that's
Yeah.
by hammer or by
That's cool.
Christmas.
It's a hard problem to have when
Yeah.
you have that many guys that are
And it's
that
almost a problem right now. It's just in that in between. So my whole
yeah.
thought is like, let's get this up. And we were talking about the spreadsheet and talking about having like vote how we want to do it. You know, do we want to just go by this or do we want to just go by this? But I did think, because we were in the middle of it and we were pulling the data, you know, and just trying to get it easy to access. And then it got into CWL and I thought, okay, we ran it through. So if we can get we can kind of take the results from August stuff, like what would have been maybe, and then look at like CWL and kind of look at both scenarios, right? Like if we would have went this way, this would have happened and we would have selected these people. You know, but like me, like if I'm waiting to the end, I'm not always going to come in and 3-star because I might not have had more time. I'm just going to use that as an excuse, but
Yeah.
like adapting or not going early when you're exactly ready and play it up. So I don't know, but it's working. I just don't want people to feel like they're being left behind or chosen, you know, because of this or that. It's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. I th- I think I ruffled a few feathers when I first came over um to CQ, you know, just with the one account, and then I brought my second over and it was a mini at the time, and I remember Drew
I
being
don't
like,
know him.
"Who's this garbage rushed account?" You know, let my offense show you what, you know, the defense sucks. It'll get there, but eventually, you know, just let me show you what I can do. And at first, when I got it at CQ, was a it was a struggle to earn that trust because they had, you know, that core group of guys, and I just got kicked. You know, even though statistically, offensively, I was a top 15 player with both accounts, they were always kicking the wand down. And finally, I told Drew, I'm like, dude, I'm sick of going to minis. Like, I'm better than the guys that you're putting up here, and we're just getting stuck because you're not, you know, you're not letting my second account. You don't want to let my second account in. And finally, the second account got put up, you know, and then I got the third account, and it was like, oh, this is going to be a struggle too because it
Yeah.
is it's a fifth of a CWL if one person has three accounts, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
But
the,
and that's why I said this month I'll just stay in CQ2. Like I'm not, it's not a huge deal. I've been kind of more relaxed player anyway. But in the long run, like I don't want to stay there forever because I like donating myself if I don't, so I don't have to wait for people. And
yeah.
then we were we joined up right before clan games, so everybody left right before clan games, and it was like there's five of us over here in clan games. I'm not gonna max out my clan games either, and so I'm getting penalized, you know, for having three accounts and not moving over. But luckily, a few guys came back over, helped out in clan games with their minis, and we did get maxed out. But it was like statistically, if I'm a top 15 player and this is what we're really trying to do is be the best clan that we can, then why penalize me because I'm a, you know, I have three accounts kind of thing. I can
Yeah.
see both sides of it for sure.
Yeah.
But from my side, I just hate having accounts in different clans and having to hop back and forth and worry about,
Yeah.
you know, this or that. There's just so many little different variables. So they said next month, let's see what you can do. And of course, I freaking screw up on the third account down in Masters and packs now and CWL. So that'll probably hurt my war weight, but hopefully during regular war, I can just step it up and show what I got.
That's exactly the type of situation that, like, I come into every CWL almost. I think people are just kind of going with it now, but it was, and like for me, I guess, like, and this came up at the start of this CWL with one particular person in L and in kind of saying, or L2, and saying, without we could be winning if I had my second account in.
Yeah.
And how do I want to say it? It's really important to me that the team is like the individual. So like in L main, and I hate L main, it's just like everybody does it. It's like individuals, the amount of teammates, right? Like, and so that's a tough one. So in L2, I wouldn't really mind, for example, like if there were double accounts, if we were doing a 30. So I kind of do keep it to like one individual. And so that's the wrestling part for me, or like in talking with other people about it's like, yeah, we want the win, but I don't want to put somebody on the bench or not get them into CWL and have you have two, right? Not like you. I'm not talking about you, but like given our like culture of it, right? We're not like in champs. We're not. And so I just have a bunch of people who are still wanting to try to get in, and then I'm trying to wiggle it. And in the match, in L, it's a one thing. In L2, the matchups are different town halls, so everything kind of calls for something different. But I like that. Like for you guys, for example, or for these competitive clans, it's about the winning, right? Like it's about the competition. And I think and I think it's just my style maybe, or like, it's just kind of the approach of L. It's just like, get as many people on the thing that are trying as possible, and we'll roll with it that way. I don't think it could ever dial down into super, super competitive. We're just a different clan made of like people from across the years.
Yeah.
People from
and you have like a variety group, right? You have like a lot of different town hall levels. And I think that might be a little bit of the bigger difference is like the majority of our clan, if with the two clans together, if you put both clans together, there's 40 town hall 17s. The other 10 accounts
and
are
max,
people,
right?
Pretty much max. Like I would say the top, probably on the war map, the top 20 are max. Like it's pretty crazy. But then you get down to those last 10 spots, and it's for people's minis to hop back and forth, so they can get the rewards to clan, or they can get in to do clan capital, or they can come in to donate to themselves or whatever kind of thing.
Yeah, just trying to give it, make it a little bit something for everybody that, like, because if let's say in Destruction's case, right? Let's say I let a couple people have minis, and there might be a place for him, but let's say it doesn't work out, and we're really going for the win, and then he sits for the next 2 CWLs, and then he's like, "Hey, if I'm not gonna CWL here, I'm gonna go somewhere else." And so then he leaves, and then the people that fall off in TH17s, you know, or whatnot, either we have to recruit fully from like hardcore 17s, or we recruit and like let anybody, you know, kind of build up from, and we're really sticking like now to like TH15, 16 up, but
yeah.
So it's almost like a root problem of approach, but
With
like
our
I said,
subs,
what's that?
like I think for CWL, everybody, you know, you always want to get the minimum number of medals. Like as long as you get your, or sorry, max. As long as you get your 8 stars, you get, you know, the same amount of medals as everybody base wise. The only people that are going to get more is the people that are getting the bonus, and usually those people are the really competitive, right? That are getting the most stars in CWL. So that's been the good thing is whenever we have been, you know, either between the two clans or now kind of with the merge, there's been always people that are like, I mean, even after the 4th war, I think the 4th war is when we had our perfect. There was 3 guys in the chat right away. They're like, I'll sit next round. Like somebody else can, you know, swap back in that didn't have a chance yet. and
I had a perfect. I'm out. Let me just leave it right like this.
Like I've got my 12 stars. I'm good, you know. Like I don't get more. And there's a couple guys that got in on that 2nd war. They didn't triple, so now they have to wait. They were supposed to come back in for the 4th war, but now they couldn't because, you know, everybody went perfect. So they got to sub back in anyway. But it's been cool to see like the team aspect is still there. People still want to, you know, like after I got the 1 star yesterday, I'm like, sit me out for 2 wars, you know, with that one, because that was pathetic. You know, that was a terrible hit, and like other guys need to be in. And now that I 1 star, I'm not going to be in the bonus anyway.
So glad that was my 2nd account because I disown it.
Oh, who's this minion Mike get? Get him out of here. Kick him out. And that's why I almost wanted to tell Drew, like, from the get-go, don't tell him that all 3 are mine. Just, like, the 2 of them have the 116 after him, but the 3rd one, minion Mike, like, that could be anybody. Don't tell him.
Let's let him do really well first before we... Just in case things don't go.
If he's terrible, then I'll disown him for sure. But we'll leave him in the other clan. But if he does all right, then we'll keep him there. But it's been cool because there's still that team aspect, and they even had a couple guys that forgot to move over to CQ2, so they got stuck on the main roster. And I guess one of them, from the background, just from the chat, from what I've kind of read, is he's kind of been there from the beginning, and he hasn't got into any of the wars because he statistically wasn't top 18, and he wasn't supposed to be in the main group, but he got included on the spin. And they were like, War 6 is when we're going to go up against that 2nd clan that's really low. Everybody's been putting up 44 or 45 stars. Like, that guy needs to get in to the war so that he can have a part in this promotion. Because he's been here, you know,
it's a Rudy
since
story.
the beginning of pushing force. And it's like, we're going to get that guy in.
Rudy.
Even though he's not supposed to be in here and he got left on accident. Like, he's still going to get in, get his 3, you know, his 2 or 3 stars and be part of this promotion. Yeah, exactly. Rudy. Yeah. Get him in the game. For sure. So that was cool to like see in here, you know, like even though it's a super competitive group, it's still a group that has a heart and wants to care. And
how do you virtually carry? How do you virtually carry somebody on your shoulders?
Yeah,
through the
and like
finish line.
When we screwed up yesterday, it was like, that's okay. We'll bounce back next war. You know, it wasn't like, oh, this guy screwed the whole war for us. Now we're not going to be able to promote. It was like, no, somebody else will back it up. So it's, even though it's a super competitive group, it's still a group that's not completely ruthless and just like, we're going to pick you out now that you 1 star, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of, you get the 1 star things and it happens, and you know how bad you feel when it happens.
Yeah, no.
And how most of the time it's just like, it just went wrong, you know. Oops.
And you can see, like, and we were watching a couple, like, after mine happened, think we were in the Drew's, and there was like 4 or 5 of us watching Drew's go live, and it was like, oh, we lost his RC, and it's like, save the two.
Yeah.
Talking to the chat, like telling him what to do. I mean, he's not reading it because he's
Right.
like attack, but
Just shouting from the sidelines.
It's a cool game to connect with different people.
Yeah, for sure.
To be able to see different interactions, like just coming over to this clan, not being a leader, just hopping into the wars and doing whatever. It's been nice to just kind of take a back seat and be like, this is how somebody else does it. And, our group, our chat had just kind of been like really dead. There's not a whole lot going on. There's maybe 4 or 5 of us talking. When we went over to Pushing Force, it's like, you can't even read, what happened morning because there's so many people talking throughout the day.
That's
and
cool.
Just talking a ton. So it's been cool to go and switch it up and get into a different group for sure.
Clash is a lot like Fight Club, isn't it? It's kind of like I think about this. I've been thinking about this lately because, like, here we all are. We are going about our productive days in normal society, and we sneak away at times to war and be part of these groups and with our secret names and we just don't really talk about it outside. You find somebody that knows about it and you're just blah blah blah, and like other people in my life don't even know I do a podcast or play a game or anything like that. It's just like I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of funny too, that like playing Clash of Clans this summer at my summer job, and I'm just like working in the warehouse, and one of the guys was like, oh, you play Clash of Clans? Do you play Clash Royale? And I'm like, no. I'm like, you know how much time I've invested in my life in this game? I don't have time for another Clash game. Like, I can see that getting really bad.
Yeah.
Like, I have 3 accounts. He's like, you have 3 accounts? I was like, yeah. Heard me listening to or saw me listening to a video one day. He's like, wow, you're really into this. I'm like, yeah. Have you ever heard of the Clash of Clans podcast? He's like, what? I was like, yeah, I've been a guest on there a few times. He's like, what? You're like deep into this game. I was like, dude, I told you, it's like a big part of my life.
Celebrity. Yeah, that's awesome. It's fun. Like you said, just when you get to meet people like that, and like when the chat's alive and things are going, and it's a nice little break from your day when to be social when you can't be social. And
yeah had a rough day, hop on Clash, destroy some stuff.
Yeah feel good about it.
Wreck some bases.
Did you get a chance to look at the new season much? I know you said you were busy.
I haven't.
Or like the update.
So I saw something this morning on the Discord group chat that they said something about November 16th was going to be the next update for the defense that are like you can switch between 3. The temporary, yeah. So I'm guessing that's when the update date is, right? It's November. Originally,
I bet you that's the Hammer Jam.
You think so?
I don't know. I'm doubting myself. No, but like it was like 10 days, wasn't it, last year?
Yeah. So usually it's so weird because usually we were every year, right? For quite a while. At first it was every 18 months. Then it went to every year. And then last year it wasn't at the full year mark. It was at 11 months that they went with an upgrade because it was always in December.
To the town hall?
To the town hall. Last year it was November. So I would maybe this year is October. I don't know though. There was original talk that it was supposed to be this month in September, but then it's not. I don't even know when Worlds is, but usually
I think it was after Worlds. November, wasn't it? I think it was like that November 15th or somewhere in there. And I'm just trying to remember what people told me.
Hammer Jam is always right before the update.
Yeah.
Because it's like for everybody that's not quite there, they get those 10 days or whatever to try to catch up.
That's what I was thinking. When you said the 15th, maybe that's when Hammer Jam kicks
Yeah.
in.
So Clash of Clans World Championship 2025.
And so there's a vote. I don't know what that's for right now. It has been wild with just CWL, and I've been working on some background projects, but kind of getting it all set up, like I said, to be able to. I posted the rosters online this time, and just to make things easier. So that might the next update will bring the biggest change to matchmaking ever.
Mm-hmm.
I
So I think that's going to be this month or after Legends is over, right? So Legends is over in 28 days,
okay.
29 days. So in 29 days, they'll switch the Legends.
Okay, so
rework.
That's going to be like one big update.
That'll probably that'll be in October, right? Yeah, October.
You're the math guy.
October 6th or something. That'll be the beginning of
October. There's a lot with this stuff that I'm not quite super familiar with. And we were talking a little bit about it, right? Like, you haven't really looked too closely at it, or what were we?
No, yeah, not really at all. I haven't even checked the news tab a whole lot.
How I was talking with Bomb Squad about this, but how I understand it is just that it's basically like a kind of throwing away the old mode altogether, the trophies, right? So those go away. And it is only ranked or regular. So if you're doing battle, no trophies, nothing, just a hit. So kind of how it is now is that the Legend League, it starts and separates into something else where it is just the hits. So it would be just the ranked battle. And everybody else has battles, but you're still being able to rank up because of the trophies until you get to just the rank now, or like the battles now. So basically what I feel like is it's you're basically just throwing away the trophies part of it, and you can hit as much as you want, and then you do like how it would be now, like 6 legends, right?
Yeah. So I think if you're doing the competitive stuff, you'll still be limited to the amount of hits. I think from what I saw, one picture there, it's almost like when you go to hit attack,
Yep.
right?
Battle on one side, ranked battle on the other side.
Yeah. So you could still go and just use some attacks to get loot,
which is
one
awesome.
Which is cool.
All
but
day
one
long.
thing I didn't like was that you're going to get loot stolen from you in Legend League now. That was always the one cool thing about Legend League that I liked.
Yeah, it's just all the same.
I
game
got
now.
my 8 attacks, and I only was gaining loot. I was never losing any loot.
Yeah,
and
kind of
you could upgrade, like, so if we get a new defense for Town Hall 18, if you put that new defense down in Legend League, it's automatically, even though it's not built yet, like if you're still building it, it pops up onto your base in Legend League. I don't know if that'll be affected in the new update, because they said something about progress bases won't be like a thing anymore because you'll be constantly hit all the time.
I think those are those ones where you like post like in message. Like people won't be able to set like message bases now because like because we're just parking. Like I can put up any base just to set as my home base, and I think it's basically just taking it back to saying, "Oh, we're all playing." Like no matter what, we're playing like the regular way. You can play the ranked if you want to, but you'll get hit, you'll lose, which I'm kind of happy about. I mean, of course, that kind of sucks, right? But I like the idea that it sucks to not have to decide between those modes. And I could see how it leads to I think maybe this will make it so like you check in a little bit more often, kind of return to a different part of the game that's not just come in for, 20 minutes or like the last couple nights I've been getting my Legends League in the last
little tiny bit.
Yeah, it's tough just because I've been busy, but like maybe just kind of restore a little bit of routine to the game, or at least you have to adjust your base, and I guess that'll put us into also with the new town hall and holding on to loot. So I guess I was thinking about it for how it is right now when I'm 4 walls away from maxed.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I did it.
And just all the traps you got still, or
nothing except for
nothing.
3. I got 3 double walls in one.
Oh, so yeah, because I heard you on the last podcast. You're doing double walls, but all your traps are done.
Everything.
All your temporary.
All your list is clear except for
that is insane,
wall.
Man. Because like when I first started listening to the podcast, you were however many town halls behind.
13, I think. So I mean, that was a year and a half to catch up and go from a 13 newer 13 that was not was really behind on defenses to max. Yeah. So,
and you've just been utilizing the gold pass, obviously, because that helps a ton, and also
hero books mostly.
Books. So you've just been kind of capitalizing on books.
I haven't bought a book. Maybe I bought one book of building in the last 5 months. But what I did was just start basically saying all my CWL medals are going to the top defenses. And if during one CWL, you can almost, if you're doing all right, like keep one book of building a week going.
Mm-hmm.
So I just said, look, all my top defenses, I'm saving them for books. I'm going right in the middle and working down because I don't want to have to use any of the books on the top or on, bombs or something. And just like kind of tried to do it as the big picture this time. Seemed to go pretty fast.
Yeah. I'm almost bored right now because I haven't had anything to upgrade for a while. I've got I'm just, now that we're in CQ2, I'm got 4 builders on the forge over there just trying to get forge metals for Clan Capital so we can rebuild.
I did that for the first time. My first set of loot is done.
Yeah. I wish they would have put some more temporary defenses in before the update because then there would be something to work on, but it'll be interesting to see when Town Hall 18 comes out.
I feel like it's in a good spot going into at this point.
Yeah,
with
I feel like they've made the game. They made the game easier for everyone. They've focused on the lower town halls trying to catch up.
Yeah,
but it's also not as hard to max out.
Right.
Like before, I feel like you had to grind your butt off to max out, and you had to spend some money too. You can still get there without spending money. Drew doesn't buy any passes, and he's not too far behind me, and he's already done with all of his stuff too.
Yeah.
Like he still made it just in time,
Yeah, really, because like even when 18 comes out, it's like I'm starting to save up for that. Like I'll save all my CWL medals. I might even buy a book or two if they have one really cheap for a book of building and stuff, and just start getting things ready now. Well, I will be really interested to hear about your CWL and how things go, and I'll happily report back on L. I hope I didn't jinx it, because I will just basically undo days of work because I talk about something, I guess.
Yeah, let's hope everybody promotes and
Yeah, and
We
I haven't.
we didn't even try to match up our sink spin this time. I should have told you about that, or we should have tried that again.
It was a whirlwind going into it. I know these last couple August, that's just wild. That was going to be the lightest month, and then here we go. And we'll have to catch up on the rank system. I talked with Liam and I talked with Bombs about it. I'm not really digging too hard into it right now because I feel like it's going to change before we even get there. Like it felt like here's the rough idea, here's the idea. I think the key details seem to be missing a little bit. And so I'm just not even, I'm just waiting for like a more official as stuff as we come into it, I guess. So
I've got my one account, like my main Tyler account pushing, and then the other two, I'm just getting as many attacks as I can in, but not too worried about. Like you said, I'm sure things will change and we'll all adapt and see how it works. But
yeah, and
we'll see how. I wanted to push with one account to see how it would be in the higher leagues.
I'm going to try for my highest trophies because that'll be going away.
Well, and this is the month to do it, right? You still got 29 days to try to get as high as you can, and exactly that'll be stuck on your account forever. It's your highest trophy count, so you might as well.
I'll get right there, and then the day before I'll miss all my attacks. This is what happens. Like at the end of every CWL, something happens. But
yeah.
Well, shout outs.
Let's shout out the new guys over at Pushing Force, Tyler on and Brad the Lad for taking us in, and Arsh. They've been super nice about the whole thing, and it was been a good merger. I feel like.
That's awesome.
Shout out to the guys from CQ that were willing to pop over with us and make the change, and
spice up
hopefully
life a little bit.
A change for the good. Yeah, spice up life a little bit. Exactly. Change a pace. Sometimes that's all that's needed, right?
Yeah. Just something to mix it up.
Atmosphere. Get you mixed it up and push yourself a little bit harder.
Yeah, especially with you guys, like, you guys are always grinding, and so it's like I bet it just to even see new attacks come in, or different styles even like.
Yeah, I was amazed. The one guy, PhD, he was perfect all throughout CWL and perfect for the entire month. And so I was like, I got to start watching this guy's attacks, and he's a really good fireball furnace guy.
Awesome.
I'll maybe have to have you hop over and watch some of his attacks or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Now that it's slowed down, especially once CWL is over, I'm saving up my loot capital. Head over, just doing some FCs. I haven't got a chance to like do as many FCs too, and it's probably why
I know these guys. That's the other cool thing. Like these guys are just all about like pushing, and FCs are just constantly in the chat. So if you want to come push yourself, hop on over and check
for sure. Shout out to you again. Thanks for being here. It's always fun to catch up, and especially like our CWLs. I think it's been like about a year now, getting close to a year since you first came on the podcast, and kind of seeing our plans grow and change over the years. Kind of fun, and where we're at like now at this point, and
it's been cool to compare and see you guys grow. It's really has, like, you guys have come a long way. It's cool.
Yeah,
let's hope you get Camps 3 and
well, it's like when I talked to you,
that final tier.
When I talked to you at first, it was like I didn't know it was such a process. Maybe like I mean, I did, and we were kind of having these conversations as L was gearing up. But I think, like, I guess if you're a clan leader out there, you're kind of working through it. I guess it's something you have to you work on doing. Like, even like with this spreadsheet, it's just not, as we've been talking about kind of part of it for like a year, but just some of the ideas and stuff, you have to kind of customize it to who you are, and you kind of work through it with clan as you're building it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool to see. Shout out to, I'm going to give Destruction another shout out. He's been pretty impressive. Porcupine, Griffin, Daddy-O, Flash, Fury, Spaceman, Mergen, Warpig he's been pulling the plan together, just do a Ore War. I know you guys were doing some, but we're just doing like a 5. So big shout out to him for running that. Shout out to listeners out there. Thanks for listening, and looking forward to gearing up for fall. Going to be exciting time with 18 coming out. So until next time, get a hold of us, clashclanspodcast@gmail.com or clashclanspodcast.com. And until then, keep it clashy.
Keep it clashy, everybody.
Skilly beep 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 skilly beep.